Golly, what is going on, y'all? So, if you're wondering why I got a shirt open, necklaces on, sunglasses, and the ceilings are curved, it's because I'm at Santorini, Greece, folks. Figured I'd do a little tutorial, in the moment, caught guilty red-handed in the moment. So, we're going to do a little Golang API stuff. Fun fact, I actually did just do some stress testing on a Golang API with a DynamoDB table. It might have crashed the hotel Wi-Fi at the other Airbnb. So we're in a different one today, but we're gonna build a little Golang API stuff. We're gonna use ChatGPT to help, of course, but you guys can see I'm trying to get some skills up with the Boot.dev, which is amazing. AWS and course careers for DevOps stuff, actually. So super powerful stuff. But let's go to ChatGPT, and we're going to pull that over. We're just going to have it as a side tool for us. I've got Postman installed. You don't need Postman. We could actually just do curl request in the terminal. So we're going to do a little bit of both, but let's get to building, okay? So very first thing, I want to write a main.go file. Guys, I'm a little bit new to Go too, so we might need to let me get this off the screen fully. So Go, I want to say package main. I suppose that's how you access things with, well, we need to actually init the file. So go mod init. And I believe this is the GitHub repository that we're kind of building for Golang, but it's not really like a repo in the way that we think. I think it's more like an npm package, right? I think that's a better way to think of it. So that was for Golang API that I built, but we're going to do a Golang script test package. Obviously, you want to prefix yours with the GitHub or your username. So let's try this out. Let's see. And we get a Go mod file that's created, and this is kind of where this is like our package JSON for the Node.js developers out there, right? We're all getting to go. Let's be honest. It's best for APIs. It just is. So like, there's no argument. So just learn it. Okay, so a few things. Let's just do a little Go tutorial briefly. I'm going to package it all together, and then we're gonna run some Go stuff. So we have Go mod tidy, which it's like our npm-i, if you will. So it kind of just imports packages that we're going to import here shortly. But it's very similar to Node.js and most programming languages, just a little more granular stuff. So we have a func main function here. Now this main function, within the Go files, they all get ran. It's like a constructor, right? So we have import format, and I'll say fmt print line. This is like our console log, if you will, hello world. And let's go ahead and run. We'll say go run dot, and boom, it ran our file. So go run dot hello world. I'll say hello world from Santorini. Boom, and let's run it again. Here we have it. Go hello world from Santorini. So that is good so far. Now we're actually going to import this package. What's it called? It's Gen. It's really good for routing, and it's going to help us do our routing and our API request and handling just like right out of the box. Super good, super fun. We'll be able to use Postman or curl request or both. So it should be a good time. Okay, so guys, it has been a hoot down here. I'll tell you that it has been a hoot and a holler. The world's beautiful. I've only seen America, Mexico, some places in Europe. I guess Santorini is technically in Europe, but it's wonderful. It's so wonderful here. The people are so kind. But okay, so we need GitHub Gen. Forgive me, I'm gonna have to look it up. So I need the import for Gen Golang. Boom. It's going to be this Gen Jonic repository. So we do import dash Gen Jonic / Gen. Boom. Okay, so that's it right there. I believe that'll work. Now we just have to instantiate the router. So this will do. Oh, that's not going to do. Oh, we need to do go mod tidy to import the package. But this is like our npm package. Go's a little bit different, I suppose, than other things. But okay, so this is going to instantiate our router here. Guys, bear with me. I'm learning the language as well, but I'm hopefully able to teach something here, right? So we have this fun syntax as well in Go, right? This like ln equals assignment syntax. So similar to, let's say, JavaScript or Python or something, right? You say const my variable equals hello world, right? So typically, at least in Golang, right, you have to declare it's a string here, or you can actually get rid of all this and you could just use a inference is what this called, or a type inference, right? It's the colon, it's kind of their way of doing it. And then if we did print my var, you can see the red lines go away. Reason for that is just Golang is trying to be a static language. Well, it is a static language, it's not trying to be. So it's just good practice. Now, we could say router get. Now this router, these are going to be all of our endpoints. So we can run we'll run the router on a local host server that we choose, maybe 50/50 or 80/80 or something. But right now we could say router.get, and I can choose all the routes that I want. I could define functions here. So let's build a route. What should we build? Just a GET request for something, right? A GET. We're in Santorini, so maybe we'll do vacation packages, right? So we'll say GET vacations, or basically some route, right? And then we'll have a function name, and it'll be GET vacations. And I'll say func GET vacations. Oh, and let's actually run the router. We'll say router.run, and 80/80, that'll work. And how do we do this? Is this does it be GET vacations? GET va. Oh, and then I need to do a gen context here. So let's see. Boom. We'll steal that. We'll let them do that. Okay, so boom. What we do is C for context, and it's the type. It's a pointer to the gen context. Obviously, we're definitely going to utilize as much Copilot as possible. So that's going to be the instantiating bit. And let's see. We actually don't want to do all this. C.json. Hold on. We want to actually build out. Let me zoom in actually a smidge for y'all. I recognize I'm on a laptop. I forget that sometimes. Okay, so hopefully we can see what's going on. Is we're instantiating a router, and now we're doing this GET route. So if we go to port 80/80, if we run this, right? Let's just go ahead and run this. Actually, even we'll worry about GET vacations in a moment. So I'll say go mod. Actually go run dot, right? And our server's actually running on port 80/80 right now. So if we go to port 80/80, localhost 80/80, not 80/88, this is actually our server running right here. So you can see nothing was found, there's nothing to return. And if we do a Postman request or something, there's nothing there. But let's go ahead, let me close out of this GitHub tab. I'll open up ChatGPT once more. Let's go ahead and get that GET vacations route up and running. But first I just want to do a struct type, vacation struct. And let's see, the ID, destination, right, sure, and we'll call that's enough. Okay, so it's very similar to TypeScript. For those familiar with TypeScript, I was able to bridge it in my brain very well, knowing TypeScript, but this JSON kind of stringified syntax, I guess, is for exporting variables data. So if we don't do this, we're gonna have a hard time getting the data on a request, on a GET request. So we got to do this. We got to prefix it with the backticks, and then we do a JSON, and then we do a quotes, and we put the lowercase of this in there. Don't know why. Golang static language. You know what I mean? Don't know why. It is what it is. Okay, so cool. Now it's going to say vacations here, and it's defining some vacations for us. We actually just want this to be separate. So we'll pretend that this is like some database, I suppose, right? So we'll say const, I think we could do this, vacation. Will that work? Vacation, how do we do this? It's called, no. Guess I'm gonna figure it out. One sec. No, there's none of that. As vacation. Let's see, we'll use ChatGPT to clean this up real quick. So what is the correct go type for this? Let's see. Should look like this. So it's defined vacations. Oh, it does have to be. No, there's no way it has to be in a variable all the time. There's no way. There's no freaking chance. Not a chance. I refuse to accept that. Let's say, how do I declare it outside of scope? Boom. Let's see. There's a way. I just did this on the plane. Oh, var vacation. Okay. Is that all we needed? Let's see, var vacation, no difference deal. Boom. Okay, so that's all we needed to do. Just simple syntax things. My bad on my part, but you can see on the context we just sent the JSON with the 200 request with the vacations. I suppose we could do a try get, but I guess we'll keep it simple here. Due to user inability. But okay, so let's rerun this. We'll say go run, So we're listening to port 8080, and if we go to, boom, right here, we're still gonna have nothing. But what we can do is actually take a, what's it called? Let's build a new thing in Postman real quick. I mean, you don't have to do a Postman either. If you don't have Postman, I'll do a curl request for y'all here as well. But let's just do a quick little Postman deal. So if we go to port 8080 and the back tick, or excuse me, the path of vacations and do a GET request, we should be able to get these vacations, and here they are. You can see them at the bottom right here. We have Paris, New York, Berlin. We gotta get freaking Santorini in there just for being here. You know what I mean? Gotta get that in there. Santorini. I wish it was 150. You know what I mean? I wish. That's what might have broke the bank on. Boy, I might need another software engineering job. Okay, so if we run this again, and then we do localhost 8080, boom, we get Santorini. So, and Paris, New York, Berlin, all that fun stuff. So that's our GET request for getting data. And we can do more routes as well. And it's similar to, what's it called? We can like do our queries, we can do all that fun stuff. So if I do router, and then we can say get, and we can do a get vacation by ID. And this is how we get our query by ID. So if I could do func get vacation, let's see if it does all the hard work for us. It does. It pulls down the ID from the parameter. Let's kind of read this. So we do for a lowercase for index in the vacation of vacations. So this is for loops in Golang, which I'm transparently not the most competent with the syntax, but we check if the vacation ID equals the query parameter ID. If it does, send that back to the front end, or send it to the response. So we send a context JSON with a 200 status that the server went okay, and we do send that vacation inside of the vacations. So basically whatever ID we get that matches this, if the parameter comes in as the ID equals, let's see, ID equals 1, it will look for which ID equals 1. And it will say, okay, this one does, and then it'll say, okay, response, let's send that, boom. So that's the payload we should get back from doing this, from getting one vacation. So let's try it. So we have our GET request here. It still should be working, which, we need to rerun the server just to recompile the code. So do go run dot. This may be a two-part, if we do a TypeScript test and a Golang test, or not, or I won't do too many post requests or anything like that. We'll get cruising on TypeScript here shortly. But okay, so our 200 or our get vacations route still works. So if I do /1, we get destination Paris. If I do /2, we get New York. So the route is now 8080/vacations/2 for ID2. If we do ID3, we get Berlin, and for 4, I imagine we'll get Santorini. If we do 5, it'll probably be a 404. And there it is. It's a 404. So obviously we can send a proper error response, like, hey, there's no more vacations. You're at the end of the list, things like that. But okay, so this is our fundamentals of using Gen within Golang, and I would highly recommend mucking around with it. I'm still mucking around, getting competent in it, because it is really powerful. Golang is much faster than TypeScript. So I'm going to do this create vacation real quick. Hopefully I can spin up something in TypeScript using like a Prisma or something where we can just simulate 1,000 posts. If not, I'll pull up actually the API that I was just testing. That's linked up with the DynamoDB table. Okay, so this is just creating a vacation. We could send a payload to this. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry, guys. I totally forgot to do a curl request for y'all. So we can do a curl. Let's not do this. We'll do a GET request, and it'll be vacations. Oops, vacations. How do you spell that? Oh, okay, so curl-x flagged with capital X, a GET request at HTTP localhost 8080/vacations. It should return. Okay, what do we get here? Authentication is required. Do we need a CORS deal? I feel like we shouldn't need authentication here. We will use ChatGPT real quick. One moment. Okay, let's see. I got this error when I did a curl request. Let's see. Boom, bada bing. Okay, so basic authentication. Interesting. I didn't realize we need authentication for this. Okay, let's see. And I will pop that in. No, we are still getting some 401 unauthorized deal. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll say, can you make a CORS? Or can you add CORS? Oh, it really should not be requiring authentication. I guess that's good. That's a good thing, right? But let's see, username, password, localhost. Really should just be, oh, maybe it's the -x. Forgive me. I don't think we need that, right? Could not resolve GET request. Why Golang TS test required? Okay, we're gonna try with the CORS real quick. So I'll just paste in what ChatGPT did, and it's gonna pull in this package. So we'll need to do go mod tidy. And let's try that curl request one more time still. We'll need CORS anyway, so that worked out because we'll need to do the front end, which I suppose I could start doing, but I'm just so confused. Oh, allowed origins. Oh, we could add HTTP. So we'll need localhost 3000 here in a moment. Say localhost 8080 as well. And let's crash the server and rerun it, and we'll do a curl request, and still authentication is required. Why? I don't understand. Could not resolve GET request. Okay, we'll have ChatGPT write some curl commands. Maybe I wrote it wrong. Can you write a curl request for this? Let's see what it does. You gotta love ChatGPT. Okay, curl that. That's what I thought, but we still have an authentication error here. Okay, I'll copy that in. Let's see. This error indicates that your server requires authentication to access the root. Okay, how do we just make it inaccessible so we don't need that? You know, how do we just make it publicly accessible for now? Authorize user group. Let's see, authorize user group. So interesting. I wonder if it's because I'm in a different Wi-Fi thing and Golang knows somehow, like the server knows that this is sketchy Wi-Fi. It could be. You may not be having this issue. I did not have this issue at the other place, so very much could be. But let's see. Oh, you know what? This is ZSH. Now I'm still redirected from why? Okay, we'll try this one more time. Boom. No. Get all vacations. We are still getting a 401 unauthorized error. You can see error 401. Okay. Well, let me do some thinking real quick with the Dippy. Yeah, still get a 401 admin password. Change this to your desired username and password. Okay, so we have admin password. That's what this person is using. Oh, I see. Content type text HTML. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let's undo the last one. So right now, let's zoom out real quick. I just have create vacation, get vacations, and the CORS deal, vacation struct and vacations. Okay, so let's zoom back in for a sec. Let me iron this out for a sec, guys, and I'll have the repo available as well. Let's see. So go mod tidy, but it may not work because you actually do need your own. But that's just for initializing the Golang package. But here, let's see. So we'll learn go mod tidy, go mod dot, and really blown away why this does not work. Interesting. Huh. Curl request. Okay, I'm sure it's something simple that I'm just completely overlooking. Let's see. Router give vacations, the ID. Router use CORS, new config. Okay. With the router on port 8080. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it's throwing a TIFF. That is 401. I'm still getting a 401. Interesting. Still getting a 401. Guys, forgive me. We're gonna dive into Axios here on the front end. I'll kind of start building that as well. So I'm gonna build a folder on the left side. I'll say this is the client. And if I open up a third terminal, basically I want to see the end of the client, right? I'll say npx creates, we're going to do next at latest. So this is what it looks like, dash next dash at latest. Oh, oops. While ChatGPT is just doing some work for us, and I'll say, yes, I want TypeScript. Yes, I want ESLint. Yes, I want Tailwind. No, I don't want source directory. Yes, I want app directory or router. We'll need a port alias. Let's see. I'm going to try to dump this Golang code in real quick and recompile, see if it works. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is until I get it working for sure. Let's see, curl request is still 401 unauthorized. Well, okay, so if this doesn't work, what? That's the homework. That's the let's make that work, guys. But let me show the stress test, at least at the tail end here. But also before we do that, and just make sure we got all of this going. Okay, so the biggest thing is I just want to do all of our CRUD operations. So we'll have a func delete, boom, there it is. Okay, so basically we're just pulling in the params. We're looking for the vacation in the vacations range. If that vacation ID equals the parameter ID, we want to delete it. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up. Then in Postman, it looks like a curl request aren't working. Guys, forgive me, I lied on that. I thought it would work. Obviously it is working for you. Still don't understand why that's not working. But if we do a delete, and if I say vacations /1, it should, oh, let me rerun the code real quick. Let's see, and make sure it was get vacations, delete vacation, boom, let's try it. Vacation was deleted. So then if we change this to a get all request, we just deleted the first vacation. We only have 3 left. So if I go to /route2, and if I do a delete again, vacation was deleted. So if we get all the vacations, again, we only have 3. So the delete route is working great. Let's go ahead and post something then. Let's see. Okay, we need a body here, and I'll just do raw. Where's my JSON? We already are in JSON. Wonderful. So I'll do a payload here. We need an ID. We just need to follow this schema basically. So I'll say ID. We'll say 45 just to make sure we're clear of all the other IDs. I'll put another thing here, destination. And I'll say Ireland or Dublin. So I'm heading next. And then I'll say price. We'll say 100 smackaroos. And let's go ahead and do a post request. And boom, it looks like it was added. So now if we do a get request to get all of these things, we should get Berlin, Santorini, and Dublin. So all of our routes are working for transfer the data. Those are kind of all of our CRUD functionalities using Gen and Golang. Now I want to show you guys this next bit here. Postman, or excuse me, not using Postman, using a test that I had wrote. This is a bit more of a built out thing. There's a CI/CD pipeline and a few other things. Hopefully there's nothing there to dox me. There isn't. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So right now I'll show you guys the main file. It's just interacting with a DynamoDB table. We'll install some of these GitHub Actions deal. But okay, so in the main Go file, basically what I have is just CRUD operations for a. Let me get out of all this stuff, and I'll close this server on the file, the project we were just showing. This is just to show you guys like ideas and things you could do with it. Hopefully it all goes well. It was working wonderfully the other night. But basically I've CRUD operations just of creating an order, reading an order, updating the order, deleting an order, and reading all the orders. So that's just kind of a common functionality. And what I had gone ahead and done is get some tests wrote for it as well. And we have a stress test where we can kind of virtualize kind of a concurrent amount of requests to stress test the API. And how many? We're using 1 user and 10 users and 25 users here. We could actually do a lot more. I did it up to 100,000 actually. 100,000 did crash it, but it worked for 1,000, worked for 5,000, worked for, I think 10,000. I did when I tried for 100,000. It was not happy with it. So I'll do 50 users and maybe 100 users as well. 250, and we'll round it off there because it does get etched onto a DynamoDB table. So I'll show you guys the table as well. Right now the table does have a ton of orders on it. Oh, let me show you the front end too of this. So I have a code on, this is the back end. You can see I'm doing a ton of stuff. And then on the front end, I have a client application, which is just a Next.js application. And the Next.js application, it's just a basic table that shows the orders. So let me do npm run start. This npm run start command, it's a custom command I made that launches the backend and the front end on the same command. So I don't have to launch a server and a client. It just launches both for me. So here is our front end. You can see it's super simple. I can just do a couple things with orders. Here's the order ID. It's really big. It's a random UUID. Here's the content of the order, and then there's also a quantity of the order. So I can increase the amount. You see it goes to 1920. I can edit the order. If it's item 18, I'll say live test. Let's see if it still works. Live test, boom, bada bing. Look at that. I can delete the orders. It should work pretty fast. And then I can post more orders. Let's say test. There's actually 100 test items. That's the quantity of the order or something. Basically, I could add more keys and more values as I need them. But let's go ahead and do the stress test. Let's see how this thing goes. We might not do the node one. I might have to do a TypeScript one for another video. So forgive me, guys, because I know we're getting on a little bit long here. But okay, so I'll cd into, let me just double check. I do have a server side. So I'll cd into my server side, then I'll run go test -v, and we should see it just rip through a bunch of tests and either take my word that it's hashed. I might have to just give you guys my word that it's hashed onto a DynamoDB table because I don't want to dox myself too much here. Here I'll just log in a smidge here. Let me just get my password off the screen. Hopefully it goes well. Let's see, and let me sign in. Sorry guys, I just do not want to pay for something I don't need to, So I'm going to search for DynamoDB. This is a non-relational database that's within AWS, and it is auto-scalable. It's fault tolerant. It's really good to use. Okay, so I'm going to go to tables, and I've got a table called orders. Boom, there it is. So here's our orders table. I could go to it now. I could explore table items. And these are just all the items that are here. So you can see them on the AWS side, or you can see them on the front end side. So if we go to the front end side, here's the orders. If I delete one, right? If we go to the table, if I refresh, we'll see one get deleted. So boom, now we have 2 items left here. We should, boom. So here's 2. There's that test item we just made earlier. I'll delete both of these just so the table's empty. And let's stress test this thing. Let's do it. Let's crash this hotel slot Wi-Fi. So I'll run go test -v. And let's see what it does. So running debug, boom, boom, boom. It's just running through all the operations. You can see we're getting 200s, which is good. That's exactly what we want. 50 users it passed, 100 users it passed. It's stress testing 250. And it did it really fast. Look at this. So 0.31 seconds, 2 seconds for 10 users, 0.68 seconds for 25 users, 0.84 for this one, 4.27, 2.7 for 250 simulated users. So it's a, and then if we go to our orders table, we should actually be able to see all the orders posted here. Let's go ahead and there's like 300 of them now. So I'll have to clean the table out and clean the data, but there's a whole bunch of orders now. So that's fun. But this is all the orders. So you can see it does item 52 and it does a random amount that it sends to the payload. But I'm appending this UUID with it and just all that fun stuff. So we can actually see that data get into the orders table really quick, which is just, it's a really fault tolerant, robust system. And I'm thoroughly impressed with Golang. Let me close out its extensions. Let's go to the test real quick. Okay, guys, I will do the 1,000. Let's see how it goes. And let me just run start, recompile it. I actually don't know if we need to do that. And then boom, we'll do go test, and it's going to run 1,000 users. Let's see. It's going to run through the CRUD operations and then just do 1,000 post requests, just machine gun down. Let's see how quick it does it. Sometimes it's quick. Like I had one that was like 2 seconds, and then sometimes it like drags on. I think right now it's kind of dragging on. So I'll have to see kind of, maybe that's a DynamoDB elastic load balancer situation where I actually need to use an ELB as a reverse proxy. So so for understanding systems design, we have basically our client, we have our server, and then we have our database. And that's just a one-to-one relationship. If there's one client, one server, one database. But realistically, you're going to have 1,000 clients. You're going to have, a couple servers and then less databases even. So the way that systems kind of handle that sometimes is there's a load balancer. So you'll have 1,000 clients and there's a load balancer. So it's kind of a server before it gets to the servers. And that server will say, hey, you go to this server because it has space. You go to this server because it has space. You go to this server because it has space, and so on and so forth. And then those servers will handle that data to the database. But here you can see I'm just using one server. So we're probably overloading it just a smidge using all these concurrent Go routes and routines. So I definitely need to add an elastic load balancer, the traditional one, or there's kind of a new one in AWS that I don't know how to fully use yet, but I'll need to probably add that into this system to make it like a really proper, just quick API. But this isn't bad at all. For 1,000 concurrent requests. mean, it's not fast, you know what I mean? But it's a lot faster than TypeScript. And I did have like two lined up on the plane when I was flying here. I bought the Wi-Fi on the plane, and I don't know why, but when I did it with 1,000 users on the plane, oh, I know exactly why. It's because I wasn't hashing them to DynamoDB. That's exactly why. But when I was just running through payloads of just like, give me 1,000 just curl requests to the local machine versus 1,000 requests from TypeScript. TypeScript took like 17 seconds and Go took 2.2. It was huge. And then I did like 5,000 and then 75,000 and it crashed on the plane, obviously. But the point is like the more the requests were, the differences between Golang and TypeScript got larger and larger. Golang being just significantly faster. So I don't think this is a Golang issue right now. I think this is a DynamoDB, or excuse me, an AWS architecture issue right now. So that's on me. That's not on Golang. But I think we're about there. It should be. I mean, this has got to be there. You know, this is so many orders. But let's see if I can change it to. Where are we? So we're at 1,000. Maybe I'll do 500. Yeah, let's try it one more time with 500 because that was taking way too long. Okay, so 500 user or concurrent requests. So runs through all those CRUD operators. I just want to see like a 10-second turnaround, you know, something easy. So it's boom, 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 boom. Let's see. This is still taking far too long for my likability. So I'll work on it. I'll find out how to do, you know, proper load balancing in a really robust way and put it part of my pipeline. Because that was the other thing too, was like getting these deployed with a proper CI/CD pipeline. Something that's robust and diving into that as well is a little bit more tricky, doing that infrastructure as code type situation. So I've got a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipeline for y'all, beyond like vlogs and like other interesting material. But okay, so boom, 500 users passed. So we got 0 failed requests, which is at least a huge like stand up. Like that's awesome. And it did hit 62 seconds, so it could process, you know, quite a few users at least per second. But it could be faster. It absolutely could be faster. So I think the less users we do per server, we're probably going to get, you know, quicker and quicker. So now if I do 250, that took about 62 seconds. You would think 250 would be half, but it wasn't. It's now 2.1 seconds for 250. First, it was 62 seconds down to 2.1. So that was kind of the experience I was seeing on the plane, as mentioned. And then when I did the TypeScript test next to it, it just like wasn't comparable. I was like, holy crap! Like these people aren't like about the runtime of Go. so it's something super powerful that I've been just diving into, trying to learn more about because it's powerful and I'm enjoying it. I really am. But yeah, guys, so thank you so much for watching. I know I'm a little bit new to the language of Golang, but I'm going to have a lot of material coming out about it because I really do enjoy it. And it's a bit of a lower level thing for APIs. So I think I've done it in my brain, and I've seen this kind of in the community. Is like use TypeScript and Next.js for like front end applications. Like that's the go-to. Like this was so fun to spin up, and use Golang for APIs. Obviously, like, you know, Solidity, Rust, all those fun things for blockchain. But I think Golang for APIs. I think TypeScript for web apps, like front end for web apps. Golang for kind of back-end API handling, because it's quick. It's like just, I don't know, like just doing this, it just feels crisp. Like I've been doing TypeScript for so long. I don't know, something about this just feels super fast with data handling. Like just posting it, creating it, deleting it. It just feels so much faster than TypeScript. And the truth is because it is. So thank you so much for watching. I know we didn't have a TypeScript comparison. I know I didn't code it up, but just take my word for it. I'll probably code one up here soon. If not, the Primogen, he's got TypeScript versus Golang comparisons. So give it a watch. There's some awesome things, and there's some obviously controversy. 32 reasons why TypeScript is better than Go. I disagree with him. I think Go is much better for, well, it depends. If you're scaffolding an application quickly and you're competent with JavaScript, obviously TypeScript's going to be the way to go. It's not the most optimal and efficient, but if you do have time to build a more proper, robust system for your APIs and loosely couple them to other microservices, I definitely would opt for Golang. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I got to find oh, there it is. I So I gotta find the little doohickey to stop recording, but I found it, and I will see y'all soon.